My name is Jennifer Zeitlin. Hi. I am one of the co-founders, designer, and writer for the Sophisticated Stoned Coalition, aka Stone Co. And it's been a pleasure getting to chat with you at Dro TV. And so thank you so much for having me. And yeah, super excited to learn more.
Welcome to My First Time, the show about your first time getting high on marijuana. I'm your host, Mike Freeman with Dro TV. Today, I'd like to welcome our guest, Jennifer Zeitline. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks so much for having me, Mike.
Yes, thank you and Mandee for coming on the show and really giving us some great information about your company, which is Sophisticated Stoned Coalition. You can find more of them on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We'll have the links in the description below. So, Jennifer, please tell our audience where you're located and a little bit about what you got going on in the cannabis community.
Yeah, so I am located in New York, originally from Los Angeles, where Mandee is located. We've been best friends since junior high. We've always been big friends, big fans of cannabis. And so we have launched Stone Co. in 2020. It was really about bringing some normalization, kind of changing the representation in the arena. And we've had over 200 partnerships. We're working with a lot of people in the community. And it's just kind of the first wave of what we're going to be doing with the project. And it's about living your best stoned life.
Nice. I love it. And I would imagine everybody watching this loves it as well, as they should. So we definitely want to speak more on Sophisticated Stoned Coalition. But the show is my first time, Jennifer. So right now we want to hear about the first time you got high.
So I was thinking about this a bit. It's funny because I actually had my first consumption experiences when I was in high school, but I didn't really get high, is pretty normal from the experiences I've heard because it was just little hits.
Mm-hmm.
But the first time I really got high was at my friend's party in college. And, I had never taken a bong hit at that point, and I was introduced in full force. And so it was beautiful. It was nighttime, and this friend was really into light shows. And so we got there. I hit this really huge gravity bong, and it was just a beautiful night. And I feel like for me, being in the right environment is huge with these things. And so it just felt comfortable. And I think that's part of why I became so passionate about cannabis, was because I've always dealt with anxiety. And that first experience, just I felt like a freedom. And ever since then, I've been using it in a balanced way that just has accentuated my life. But yeah, that was the first experience, and it was definitely probably what made me love bongs, which continues to this day. And so yeah, that was me.
Awesome. So first time gravity bong, you didn't throw up or anything?
I didn't, but I
Okay.
will say my biological father it might be in my DNA because he is one of the biggest tolerances. He makes bongs. He's a connoisseur of all types of cannabis. And so I don't know if I was just built for it, but at that time it worked for me.
Excellent. So now you're a flower girl. You mostly consume flower.
It's in waves. I'm actually trying to transition. I just got a Levo infuser for my birthday in August, and so
Okay.
I'm trying to do some infusions at home. I love flower. At the end of my day, I don't drink, and so it's a great way for me to unwind and just relax and hang out with family. My mom consumes, my boyfriend consumes, we all consume, and so I like both. I'm really big into pro tabs right now, and so anything that works for me, I'm a fan of.
Okay. Excellent. What was the Levo infuser?
Yeah, so it's this really cool infusing machine. And you can make, my first thing I made was honey in there, which came out delicious. I want to play with my potency, but it's really fun to experiment. You can do any type of oils in there, and anyone could use it. It's one of the most user-friendly machines I've used. But we just did a partnership with Monica Lowe, and we did a feature, and she's all about creating infused gummies at home. So we're going to be trying some without the Levo as well soon. So just jumping into the infusion world.
Excellent. Now, this partnership, is it something like an interview that's going to be coming out? We can watch and learn some of, okay, excellent.
Yeah. So Monica, and she is from Suweed. She's the creator of Suweed. She just launched her new book, which is her first book, and we launched our feature today actually. And so we're really excited. We're going to be doing a deeper dive where we're recreating some of her delicious gummies and infusions and doing a whole production to showcase just the flavors. She's amazing. But yeah, so you can check that out on the page or on our site, and you should also check Monica out at Suweed.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm interested in that because my girl's a nurse. She can't really consume THC, and so we're always looking for alternatives. And um, we're in a position right now where we may be able to make some CBD butter, oil, and stuff like that. So, um,
This would be a perfect jump in. I'll say what I love about her book is she showcases how to do THC, CBD, all different types of options for people, which I think as we were jumping into the cannabis space, as content creators and as, community, um, I don't know what's the word, facilitators,
sure.
we noticed that there's like a lot of push for THC. And don't get me wrong, I love THC. I love all types of the cannabis plant. We really want to showcase the benefits of CBD and like bring it all to the table. The whole plant is something that should be used for all of its bounty and beauty. And so when it comes to manufacturing and when it comes to hempware and when it comes to CBD or THC, we want to showcase all of it because we think it's all very valuable.
Yeah, I'm 40 years old. I don't know if I keep repeating this because I don't feel 40, but I'm 40 years old. I knew cannabis. Started smoking in 97. I never heard of CBD. Um, and so here we are 20 years later, 25 years later, a CBG, HHC. So I'm like, what's it going to be in 10 years? Are you going to go into a dispensary and say, this hurts, I have a migraine, and are they going to like concoct something in front of you? Is it going to be like on a personal level, or are we going to have specific compounds are we going to have it somewhat more dialed in as far as, I mean, I guess the possibilities are endless and we're living in an exciting time.
We really are. And I really, even now, we've come such a far way. I am 36, close to 40. And I also can't believe it. And, even the difference before legalization, and, I'm from Los Angeles. So when I went to New York, it was a dry state at the time.
Right.
But going into a dispensary the first time for me was like, oh man, this is like Willy Wonka. It's like anything's here. As I've gotten more integrated into the cannabis community, I'm realizing just how much opportunity there is within the dispensary infrastructure for like education and pathways to make it even more accessible. And I think just what you're saying, the future is endless with the things. And I hope we get like a cauldron of canna goodies that we can
Sure.
like custom make for us when we get in there. I'm a big fan of all magic too. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah. I picture like at home. I mean, at some point we're going to have to be able to grow this at home. There's no reason anybody anywhere shouldn't be able to just grow this at home. And so let's say 10 years, that's where we are. What are we going to have in the kitchen? And I mean, we're going to have like science labs, maybe, maybe there's going to be an entrepreneur 5-10 years from now is going to make a kit, sends it out. You can test everything. And just like I test my pool water, I get a pH and everything else. So
It should. Normalization's the way. And, I really think it's sad to me that there's so many blockers towards access for the people who truly can benefit from this plant. So I really hope more and more of that chips away because when it comes down to it, like we should be able to use Earth's natural resources in the way that they're intended to be used. And this is a highly beneficial plant that everyone should have access to. And so I hope we can all grow it at home. And I hope there's like more pathways for people who are in lower income brackets or have certain disabilities or in the senior market and people that just aren't able to tap into it as much right now. So I can't wait to start growing at home. That's a forte I want to jump into, and I can't wait till everyone can do that when they're ready.
yeah, I have a good friend of mine has a food forest business. Hey, everybody. I want to quickly mention Food Forest Abundance. Food forest abundance is a great way to create your own self-sustaining food forest and naturally occurring ecosystem that's commonly found in nature, but designed specifically for you. Through multiple layers of trees, shrubs, herbs, vines, rhizomes, mushrooms, and perennial vegetables, you can become your own supply chain without the typical maintenance required of a garden. From small spaces to large areas, both urban and suburban, Food Forest Abundance wants us to get back to our roots in nature by engaging with our food production in a meaningful way. For more information, click on the link in the description below and start your journey today. Okay, let's get back to today's episode. Shout out to Food Forest Abundance, Jim Gale. And it's incredible. It's the only real advertisement we do on our show because I just built my garden and my food forest. And he talks about how the cannabis growers in the 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, they're teaching us how to grow inside, whether it's microgreens, whether it's balcony plants, but light setups and indoor grows. We think we can thank the cannabis growers and cultivators for all of that. So it's really cool how this stuff kind of you're 36, I'm 40. But thinking back, like we had limited resources, limited knowledge. The weed I saw grown was outside in a pot, and I don't think it ever budded. I mean, maybe it wasn't a female plant, but it nothing compared to what we have at our fingertips today. And it's great. It's awesome. It's amazing.
I would love to check out the food forest as well. Not to derail, but another thing I'm really excited to jump into in general is just gardening. I think it's something that so many people should get into, especially with where we're at as a culture. And so anything that's like gives you tools to do that at home and make your own food and make your own cannabis, I'm about.
Shameless plug if anyone's interested in getting a blueprint designed for their property, a personal blueprint for your own food forest. You can go down in the description below and click on Dro TV's Food Forest affiliate link. Save yourself some money. The mission with Food Forest Abundance is to turn, I think Jim had a statistic of like 30 million acres of lawn in the United States, which we treat with chemicals. We have to, every week I got to go and mow it. So why not turn that into a self-sustaining permaculture style food forest where the other main point is limited maintenance. Just like you would walk in a forest and there's coconuts growing or mangoes growing, someone's not there tending to these every day. They're just growing naturally. So the food forest blueprint is designed where you have a fruit tree guild, maybe you have a certain garden bed here and other plants all interspersed with each other, where nitrogen producing plant, there's a tree, flowers bringing in insects. So it's truly amazing. I've spent the last 6 weeks building my garden, and it's great. I've got squashes growing right now. I've got cucumbers sprouted. So every Sunday I've been succession planting, where hopefully the next I'm in Orlando, Florida, so it's going to be warm here for another month or two, and hopefully my yield is strong. So
Well, happy
what
harvesting.
are you? I'm sorry.
Happy harvesting.
Well, thank you. Yes, yes. I'm smiling already. I'll probably have a bigger smile once I do pull something off the vine. But what are you looking to grow, and what are you interested in growing for yourself?
I really want to work on cooperative gardens, so that's right up my alley. To
Mm,
me, it's interesting that you bring up lawns because this is like a contention point for me. I feel like lawns, yeah, they're beautiful, but they're not serving anyone. Like exactly what you're saying. It's a big empty piece of land that just you're pouring water and resources into. And so for me, it's making the land work for us. And
mhm.
so we're going to be moving. Our biggest thing is like having land where we can grow and having water in the area that we want to be able to tap into when needed. But I want to grow all types of vegetables, fruits. We definitely want to grow herbs, cannabis, flowers. And so I've been doing a lot of like mapping for what can go with what, but that's complex to do on your own sometimes,
Mm.
especially when you don't have experience. So that's why this sounds right up my alley. It sounds like a perfect solution for a balance of getting what you want without as much difficulty.
Yeah, yeah. Um, we can talk afterwards. I can send you some information if you'd like.
Thank you.
Because as much as I love cannabis and love doing this, the next thing is the gardening, because I think with the issues we see today in the world going on, whether it's supply chain, um, GMO spraying of foods, chemicals in foods, we've gotten away from nature. We've gotten away from growing and being one with what we're putting in our bodies. And uh, I think these small incremental steps to get back to that uh, will make for a better society, in my opinion.
I believe that fully. I really love when cities start to integrate with nature. I think there's this thing that we've been pushing against nature when we're really supposed to be collaborating with it, and we can. And so I agree full-heartedly. It really makes me sad that, when I was in college, I did a lot of undergrad work on food deserts, and community gardens and these kinds of things. And I think it's just really sad that people don't have access to those types of fresh food, fresh options that really everyone should be able to have. And so I'm excited for that to get more integrated and hopefully sooner than later with everything happening for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to convince. I don't really have to do the convincing, but I'm trying to slowly convince my girl into. My YouTube algorithm is just garden videos now, and this one guy turned a 12 by 12 bedroom, spare bedroom in his house, into a $2,000 a month microgreens, basically a garden plant
Oh
that
my
he
God.
just, whether he's selling them or turning them into powder. Uh, but his whole setup was, I'm sure he spent a few money. It looked like it was somewhat professional. Um, but it is pretty easy if you have the right resources and the knowledge to either grow something indoors or knowing when to plant and all that good stuff. So, and like you were just talking about with nature, plant medicine, it's not just mushrooms and cannabis. I mean, they say eat the rainbow, eat an orange sweet potato, eat a yellow squash, eat your greens. Um, and I think that's, like we were saying, we've gotten away from this, and that's why we're unhealthy as a society. Um, and I've been trying to show my neighbors, just to show them like, hey, this is easy. Um, I took it to an extreme because it's usually what I do, but uh, plant a fruit tree, um, throw some
Start
sweet
small.
sweet potatoes in the ground. Yeah, that's all.
That's the way, and you're honestly doing the important work there because that's I think people who realize how vital that is, especially now, can showcase that and like make it a lot less intimidating. Just like cannabis, like
Sure.
it's just a plant. These are all plants. They're things that we can use as tools in many ways, and so I think it's awesome that that's being showcased.
I gotta get a plant, and we gotta come on, Florida. Let's go. I gotta be able to plant some cannabis out here. It's like 10 months of sunshine and warmth here. I could be, cycling through
The
here.
perfect.
Yeah. You experiment with mushrooms, any other plant medicine?
Yes. So, me and my boyfriend both enjoy psilocybin. I think it's one of those things that is very much a tool. I think with cannabis, like I said before, to me, it's kind of like at the end of the day, I like to have like a little puff or a little pro tab or a little brownie, and it helps me unwind. But for me, I kind of spoke about it earlier. I used to suffer from pretty crippling anxiety and I was in really high stress situations with my day job. And so I was having panic attacks regularly. And it wasn't until I tried psilocybin and I had a few different, kind of sessions where I sat with myself there that I broke through that anxiety. And I
Wow.
think there's so much that's undiscovered about, fungi in general. And I want to learn so much about it. But the fact that it's really just a communication center of our trees, it's like the nervous system of much of our planet. I think there's so much power within it that's untapped. And I'm excited to see, these mushroom dispensaries popping up. I'm
Mhm.
excited to see it more normalized, but I'm hoping there's additional waves of that because I do think it's such a momentous tool.
Yeah, was talking earlier about spirituality, and that's one of the reasons I think it's still illegal is um, it expands our consciousness. We think differently, and you helped you with your anxiety. It's helped me with anxiety, and that's not, if all of a sudden I start thinking things differently, that's not a good way to like keep people and under authority and stuff like that. And um
I agree fully. It's it's really it's kind of startling to me because, when I was younger, I was on medication for anxiety and medication for those kinds of things. And I just had such terrible side effects. And the fact that there's an alternative that is of this earth that can make tremendous change for people, I think you're right. I think that's one of the biggest reasons it's not being allowed. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons that we're seeing lack of access to natural tool sets. I think being with nature is one of the most integrated things you could do spiritually. I think it's one of the best things you can do for your health in all arenas. And I do think there's a lot of blockers to accessibility and to the pathways there. And so that's why I'm so passionate right now about digital accessibility pathways for positive change, because I think there's just so much. And not to be that person, I watch a lot of random, just not in depth, television. I watch garbage TV, if you say, but like, I think it's just so important for people to realize what's important with these things, like to go back to the earth, to realize you have these tools, and to not, be scared to stand up for your right to access them.
yeah, they want you to get a medical card and go to a pre-approved licensed dispensary. Well, why can't I just grow it at my house? They still want to be able to control that aspect of it, because that's like the ultimate freedom. I can grow my medicine and take the medicine when I want. Um, it
Yeah,
seems
it's a,
like
it's a
it's like,
money game,
yeah, yep,
and
yep,
it's sad.
yeah,
I think money is a tool, and it's a necessary tool in our society, but it should not be a blocker to living a healthy life in any way.
absolutely. So you are co-founder with Mandee of the Sophisticated Stone Coalition. You're the writer and designer.
Yes, I do. It's everything's a team effort. It's really just the two of us, but I mean, my mom's proofreading stuff, my
Nice.
friends are checking stuff, and so it's just a team effort, and it's a lot of fun. And yeah, I do a lot of the design work. My undergrad work was in design. I do design as part of my day job, and so I really like getting that creative outlet.
Excellent. And can you talk about some of the previous guests and interviews you've done, if someone's interested in going there and checking it out?
Yeah, so some of the really exciting things that we just work on, we were speaking about Monica. She has that really great book, so I recommend you check that out. We also just spoke with Ross from Ross Gold, and he was the first Olympic snowboard winner. He was arrested in Japan right after he got that gold for cannabis consumption.
Wow.
And he, yeah, at that time it wasn't scheduled, or it wasn't against the rules technically. And so he was able to get his gold, which he got in the jail. And then he was living at this intersection of being incredibly famous. Like the next day he was on the Jay Leno show. He's in all the, but also being incredibly stigmatized. He couldn't get a job. He
Mhm.
couldn't, he had family stuff that was being impacted. And it's such a trip. And at this point, he's really a superstar in the cannabis world. He has advocacy, he's doing education through his grows, he's launching really exciting brands. And so that was huge and really interesting to chat with him about that. And just, one of the biggest things for us with the people we've spoken to, we've done about 200 interviews at this point.
Wow.
And each of them, it's just been so beautiful to hear how diverse our community is. We work with dispensaries, we've worked with chefs, we've worked with Doreen from My Bud Vase, and all these wonderful people. And so we're just excited to meet more, but would love for people to check out some of our awesome community members.
Excellent. Uh, where, if someone was interested in going to the site, where would you direct them first? What would you have them check out?
So you can go directly to our site at sostonedco.com. You can check out our Instagram. All of the links are in our Linktree on IG. They're all available on the site. We do have a YouTube and a Spotify, and so you can check those all. The hub is probably best on the Linktree or the site, though.
Awesome. And not to get too inside baseball, but how do you, I guess, acquire some of your partnerships and, kind of get into that stuff?
Yeah, so, it's funny, it's been pretty simple. We just started talking to people, and, like, we just started getting to know more people in the community, and we've been very passionate about it, and so it's just organically kind of cropped up. So, people have reached out like yourself, or, there's been people that we've just been like, "Hey, we love your page, if you ever wanna talk, we're around," and so that's been, what we've been doing right now. Down the line, and what's really exciting is a lot of the people we're partnering with, we want to end up having classes in a suite through, an app that we're gonna be creating, and
Awesome.
so, hopefully, they'll all be able to, like, showcase some of those tools and teach more people in the community how to do stuff themselves, and, like, if they wanna get into business in cannabis, or if they wanna learn how to grow or do infusions, and so we're planning on integrating the partners even further into the process down the line.
Excellent. Yeah, a lot of great educational stuff on the site and some great interviews. I was checking the one out with Ross. So um, uh, I'm sure, like yourself, interviews is a great way to self educate and, really expand your knowledge base and learning something new every day, right?
It's been so amazing. Like, we loved weed when we got into this, and, like, we knew that things weren't represented right, and we knew there was a lot of really crappy stigma in the arena, but we definitely weren't experts of the industry when it came to the more tangible, pathways there. And so every person we talk to, I mean, including you, we're the food forest. I'm so excited about this. Every person we talk with, we just learn more, and we get, and it's inside and outside of the cannabis space, but it's really all just such in a supportive community where they're willing to provide that education because we all just want to spread that love.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what's great about this community. There is a lot of love and um, I like to say it's all shapes and sizes, colors and persuasions. Um, you know, uh, sure, there's a rotten apple here or there, but um, that's it's going to be like with anything. So,
Anywhere you go, there's gonna be some. And, for me, even when we luckily haven't really dealt with any difficult situations, but when it happens, I feel like it's room for everyone to grow. So
yeah.
hopefully we can all get to a place where we're all in the love zone.
And we smoke weed. So if something bad happens, we smoke weed, we feel better, or maybe that person needs to smoke weed and feel better, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just take a relax, take a pro tab, and do yourself.
Awesome. Well, Jennifer, it's been great speaking with you and learning even more about the Sophisticated Stone Coalition. It's an awesome website, idea, and future app. So we're happy to have this conversation and promote what you guys are doing. Um, please let everybody know where they can find more of you guys.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's been an honor. It's just been really awesome getting to chat with you. And yeah, just check out the site. We'll be posting updates. We post features regularly. We're going to have some cool challenges coming up when it comes to like holistic wellness. And so, and some giveaways for the holidays. So yeah, just check out the IG, check out the site, and we hope to see you guys.
Awesome. Excellent. Love it. Uh, sorry, wasn't prepared. For those of you watching this on YouTube, make sure you go down there and smash that like button for Jennifer and leave a comment with what you think of the So Stoned Co. and the Sophisticated Stone Coalition. It's a great website, so go there, check it out, come back, leave a comment. And if you are watching this on YouTube, you need to go down and subscribe to Dro TV because otherwise you would miss valuable information like this and great interviews with Jennifer. So thank you. That's all we have for today's episode. Appreciate everybody tuning in. And as always, smoke them if you got them. What's up, Dro TV family? You can now stream the audio version of all these episodes on your favorite podcast player. And if you like more episodes like this, check out this playlist we put together over here for you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to us on YouTube. You don't want to miss more great content from Tro TV. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, smoke 'em if you got 'em.